Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valerie, your neighborhood pyrography artist. So this is your home of burning and learning. Join with hubby.
Okay.
And we're hot. It's hot here.
You mean like we're hot, like
it's
the
hot.
stream is going?
Well, that too.
Oh.
Hey, Jenny. Hey, Greg. Hey, Spence. It is hot here, and I don't like heat. Alrighty. So I got some work done. Not as much as I wanted, but I got some work done.
Looks like you got a lot done to me.
Well, I'm going to back out and so we can quickly see. Ooh, the camera's hot, huh? Everything's hot in here. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Andrea. Alrighty. So there was one thing when we talked about brush last week I forgot to mention, and it's a technique that'll actually hopefully help when I'm trying to get in. And turn the camera, get it out of my face. Alrighty. Hey, Benji. So, I can feel the texture of the stroke for this grass right here. And I did this on purpose earlier today so we could discuss it. Some of it not as much, but I can feel it. Now, if you've got the 12 small or the 12, this will help you. If you've got the 17 or any pen like it, of these, so we want to skew for this. We also want our heat to be lower, and I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the 12S because I can go with even lower heat. And there's a reason for this. I've shown in the past using like a butter knife or something to score the wood, but what we're going to use is our skew, but we can't press hard with our skew because we're more likely to break it, because it does tend to be a not less stable tip, but it's very thin, so we don't want to break it. And then we're going to take a very low heat. It doesn't have to be too low. Like right now I'm at 2.5, and what this is going to do is, as I'm putting in this lighter grass, what it is it's scoring the wood. So that way when I go up against a rock that's darker in the background, it should kind of leave it lighter because the wood isn't raised where I am. It's indenting it, but with using a really low heat, it's keeping us from breaking our pen because we're not pushing hard. But it's scoring the wood. You could do the same with fur. You do the same with hair.
So you're getting like a negative out of it.
Hopefully. Like I need to pick a rock real quick. Okay. I think it's going to be, find my photo.
That's a good trick.
I think it's going to be this rock. But I need to make sure, because we do have a dark right here. So, and I can go even lower heat because all I want is the indent. Now the grass does have tone, so going at a lower heat and putting it in is totally fine. And then I can go up into the rock a little bit just to give us some of our taller grasses and to break it up. Sorry, I'm looking at my photo so I can make sure I'm putting it in the right place. And then some of it I can feel, some of it I can't. I can feel it more here. So actually I think we're going to pick this rock because I can feel it more. And I'm still, without using too much pressure, I'm not pushing into the wood. I'm just dragging, touching down at the bottom and dragging up. Trying to crisscross some of those strokes so that they don't look so uniform and soldiery. Meaning they're not all straight in a line.
You have Andrea?
Yeah, I said hi to Andrea and Benji. I did. Hey, Teresa.
What about Teresa? I guess I'm not doing my job.
I guess you aren't. Here you thought you were. Alrighty. So we don't want to go hard. And then, because I'm going to go ahead and do this rock since it's probably easier on camera. Ah!
Burl's here.
Hey, Burl. You did it.
Yes, justified my position.
He just came in. Just came in. And you can use the 12, you can use the 17, but use it on a really low heat. And then I'm going to not do it with that pin, because that's the wrong pin. Where's my pen? There it is. There it is. Alright, and then I'm going to bump up to 3 because this rock right here has some darks, and that's where we were putting some of our grass. It doesn't have as much grass. Yes, we're just going to try this one first. Now, if I put my heat up too high to get a dark burn, then it's going to fill it in because the heat from the tip is going to fill in that area. Come up in. And if I use the tip when I'm doing my circles, it will also fill in the area. So we got to be careful with how much of the tip we use on what heat, and I don't know why.
What's better?
Yeah, it's not heating. Let's quickly. There we go. It'll just take longer than I wanted to. I was being impatient.
You?
I know.
Considering your chosen medium,
I know.
that always boggles my mind.
See, so we're going to start off darker here, and I'm just going to use so I can get it laid in. And this is at 3, and I can go a little darker, but I think I try to take my time.
Okay.
Versus trying to go dark very quickly, because the beauty of taking your time is it layers, and that layer, when once this is all sealed, you can see different. It looks different when you do a layer versus a flat out high temp burn. It looks different. See, there's actually a second rock over here. And I transferred this. I noticed a little bit of my rocks were off, but again, the rocks.
They got moved.
They got moved.
There was an earthquake.
Yeah. Alright, so.
Or an angry burrow.
So right here, trying to use more, not so much the tip, more angled down, because the tip will grab the grain. And I'm actually going to go quickly over it. It will fill some of it in, but that's okay because we can see the rock. And the reason I'm doing this is it requires more heat to go darker over that burn. I don't want to fill it in. Sorry, I gotta look at my reference. See where everything is. Gotta see where it's at. Alrighty. See, it did fill. Ah, that's hot. Fill a little bit of it in.
What's the diameter of this?
What do you mean?
Of the piece?
14 inches.
14 inches.
It's a large one. It's a large one. Let's see, it's going to be hard to see. You can see the strokes, but it's hard to see. It's not picking up on camera the way I want. But it takes a little time to sit with it. Spending that extra time is definitely going to help how your final burn looks. Not a race.
No.
It gets done when it gets done. So let's fill it in.
But that is really important in art. Like that's my instinct that I have to fight. And thanks to you, I've learned to slow down.
Yeah, it does appear this grass needs to go darker, so I'm touching at the base and pushing up very lightly. I don't want to break my pen. You can use it up against the grain as long as you're careful. If you feel like you don't have quite the control, I wouldn't recommend it. You don't want to break your pens. You want to love your pens. Love your tools. They will love you back. You know, that sounded kind of funny, but it's true.
Hmm.
It's true. What? You want to fall out of the bed again?
I was pushed.
You fell. Alright, so this rock would just be darkened up here. And I know you guys can't see it. But then I can also take the pen. I think I'll still take it at 3. And we'll lay in some darker grass. Because remember, we'll see more detail in the front than we will the back. Now, one thing about this pen is if you actually turn the heat up, let me see if I can find an area to do this on that I'll be happy with later.
Where are you turning it up to?
For right this second, I'm turning it up to 5.
Ooh, it's pretty high.
Yeah, it's not doing what I want.
Oh, Spence got his dragon transferred onto the wood.
Yay! Not doing what I want it to do.
What's everybody even thinking about their exhibit?
Yes. Let's see.
I got to see the exhibit, so pretty impressed. I think I told them that last week. But
Yeah, well, they get to see it now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right now, I'm at 4, and I'm just darkening the base of the grass for some areas. I'm trying to think which pen would be best to show what I want, because this is gonna be hot.
Oh, can everybody hear us? Okay.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just asking. Nobody said anything.
Oh.
I didn't forget to ask at the beginning of the broadcast.
I thought you were doing your job.
Hey, I was here before you. I was talking to chat. That's right, chat. You're talking to me, not Valerie. Waiting for the star of the show to show up. Like, where is she? We're gonna go live soon.
There was some construction on the hallway bridge. I didn't have any money for the toll.
Really? Big star like you.
I know. Alright. And it's gonna go back and forth, trying to build this up. I am gonna go ahead and switch over to the 12M, right? 12M? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, everybody can hear us.
I don't use my SKUs too much, so I don't necessarily know the numbers off the top of my head.
So the Toasties really like the exhibit. So
I'm glad.
you worked really hard on it, so.
Yeah, but the thing is that unfortunately Facebook isn't sharing the post, so as many people aren't seeing it. So if you've shared it with your friends and family and they haven't commented on your work in the gallery, you might want to share it again just in case they didn't see your post.
Okay.
Because based on how many people were there and all their friends and family, I guess I would assume. I switched over to larger 12. Now I could use, let's put this down so I don't burn myself. Let's see here, let me find some lighter grass. Not that I can't refill it back in, but I can also use the knife, kind of break it up. You see, to me it's not, I don't like it as much, though it does depend on the look you're going for. But you do need to still move it around so it doesn't look so samey. Let's see that, like right here we got some more. So let's go ahead and put some of the lighter stuff in. Make sure you get all kinds of crazy with your stroke so that you can have all kinds of wild crazy grass. Now if you were doing a piece, that has a different kind of grass, you still use the same techniques. You just, I would say, start from the back and move forward, or from the top and move down, because the top grass would imply grass that's further away from you, and it would be lighter and less detailed. And what I'm trying to feel is how much it's cutting into the grain, so we can use that while putting the grass in. So some of these would still be darker ones, but this would be kind of like a highlight on the grass. Got a pin on. I do. Let's see here. I did this one, so let's go ahead and move over to this rock. I'd fill that rock in more, but right now I'm just going to bounce around so you guys can see. Did I go to the right pen? I did not go to the right pen. There we go. So we'll do some more scraping while I wait for it to heat up. Let's see here. And I'm actually using the blade like I would if I was cutting something, to make that mark thinner. And I'm even going over the areas I've already burned, because I can always go back and fill them in. Or this way it's less uniform and has more texture.
I think that uniformity thing is really important, because the human eye, our brains, will pick up anything that's uniform or has a pattern. Focus on it, because that's what we do.
Can't tell right here in this photo if that's a rock. I think it's a bush. Just realized I don't have the reference up for them.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at your reference.
It's in my hand.
I'm not paying attention.
Alright. Let's get this one in. So now we've cut in with the knife. I definitely think trying different techniques gives you more of a random look to your grass.
Okay.
And not one way is right or wrong. Is what you're wanting it to feel like, and how much texture you want. So I'm gonna...
I think having a variety of texture is visually interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. I didn't do it.
No.
Uh-oh. Alright, so I need to erase a little bit of the graphite, because we got some graphite in the grass here that I don't want to burn into the wood. And then I think I'm also going to burn around so you can kind of see what the grass looks like. And now I got to remember to look up, since Jason had to leave the room. And I'm not used to looking up at comments. Alright, tap this in. Luckily you don't have to be exact. This actually looks more like a bush too, but I think it's totally okay to have a rock here. You can make it bigger, and that's just an artistic choice. So if I go around the grass, just doing quick circles, just so you can see, and I'm using the pin more flat. And this is on 3.5. Now, it may not come up on camera, which sucks, because I really want you guys to see. But the beauty of it is when somebody is viewing your piece in public, they will be able to see that detail, even if it doesn't show up on camera. Let's see here. So yes, I'm also using the side of this pin for grass to fill darker areas in. And that's what I mean by using different techniques. And using the different techniques of putting grass in, it allows us different textures. And in theory, hopefully, making it more interesting. Because you don't want it... Have you ever drawn grass where everything was up and down and maybe a few curves, and then it kind of looks like a flat top haircut, like the grass has been buzz cut? And that's what we're trying to avoid right now. And even if you're looking at some grass in the yard that may look buzz cut, if you're down on the angle of the grass based on your photo, it's not that way. In fact, I was thinking for a community project, maybe we need to do one that is grass. And then for Greg and Burl, we've only got a week left in the month. We got to figure out your guys' live stream. When and what. Let's get this in here. I know everybody's schedules are different. And Burl, I think you could email me the bear if you're still giving us permission to use it. I think we shall use your bear for July's community project. Alright, so we have some grass in the back too. Now, some of this grass you're not going to even really see the grass. Let's see here. So if you want it softer, okay, you would, yeah. I'm trying to go over all the different grasses that are at least in this. For a lighter grass, you're going to use the tip flat, not on the edge. And you're going to quickly drag back and forth, overlapping, curving. To see what it just did there was it still gives us the illusion of grass, but it's really soft.
When I left, there was no grass.
That's
now,
not true. There was grass.
Yes, but now I can see it.
Oh, now you can see it.
It is soft looking.
And some of it we want darker. So this is just a matter of rolling your pen. It's very micro movements. Going very fast in this case. And see, I can feel some of the texture, even if you guys can't really see it on camera. It really sucks.
Now, because we have that texture, when you seal it, is that going to bring that texture out more?
What do you mean bring it out?
Like, you know how when you get like the clear on top of it, and you can pick up the...
If the grass is too light and the wood changes colors, as in darkens, because wood tends to darken when it's wet. If it's too light, you'll lose it, depending on what you spray with. I'm actually going to try spraying with the UV spray first to see if it darkens the wood and then seal.
Okay.
Because Spencer did that. He used Krylon UV spray because he had used acrylic paint on his piece, and it did not. It darkened the wood, but very slightly.
Okay.
So I want to see if we keep detail if we do that first. So I guess I can always test with this one. Let's see here. Now where we have some rock, I'm just going to tap it in. Actually, I think I'm kind of making up a rock.
I love this coaster.
Yeah?
I do.
That's good.
It makes me feel like I have an official... It's like a name tag on a desk. I have my spot here in your studio.
You always have.
I know that. But it is official.
Let's see, I gotta take off some of that graphite. Let's see, tomorrow's live. We've only got 3 lives left on this one. After today. Or is it 2?
Huh?
It's 2 or 3 lives left, because next Wednesday, I think, is the 1st of July already.
So when we're only doing the Grand Canyon through June?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I need to straighten this line out because this is more of a...
We're buffering a little bit. Just for a second.
Yeah. Let's see here. Trying to straighten this line out. So yeah, you can go through and darken this grass, soften the bottom of it, and then make sure it's kind of more stringy at the top, because that's where you would see individual blades separating from the rest of it. Let's see here. This is where we cut in some, and I can see, and here's the thing, and I've got to keep this in mind in regards to talking to everybody, is even though I wear glasses, my eyes are extremely sensitive to color and tonal change. It really surprised me until I took the test. It really...
You are.
I'm very sensitive. I can tell a difference in the degree and slight change in color. And I have to remember, not everybody sees that way. It's not a bad thing or good thing. It's just they don't all... Everybody doesn't see that way.
It's intimidating to me as an artist because we're like, we see the same color and I'm like, that's green. And she's like, it's viridian. And then there's another color and I'm like, that is also green. And she's like, that's sap green. I'm like, I don't.
I see it though.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's green.
So I got to take that into consideration. So just because I may see the tonal changes, you guys may not. And if you don't see the changes, then do a little darkening to break it up. So
can I say to well, everybody that has pieces in the gallery, it's amazing work.
I'm very proud of them.
But I remember, like, Burl in particular was like talking down her portrait, and like
she did a wonderful job.
That is a really, really good job, Burl. Like I was
for your first portrait.
Based on what you were telling me, I was prepared to lower my expectations, but blew me
maybe that's
away.
why she did it.
It blew me away. So you did a very good job.
They all.
Yeah, everybody did a fantastic job.
Yep.
Hands down.
I love seeing their growth.
Yeah, I love seeing that.
Even if they're new to burning, like, as in they just started this year, because we did have a couple who just started this year, so both their pieces are from this year, but I can see the difference.
You know, and as an artist, like, you should be able to see growth, like, throughout as long as you're
challenging yourself.
Yeah, because I worry sometimes when you see artists that, like, you know, they have a style, but they're not improving. Like, you can go back to their work like 5 years ago and, like, it's the same. And it's like, well, you can't really tell.
They're very comfortable.
Period it's in. And typically, like, a lot of those artists have, like, a huge fan base as well. And so they're kind of comfortable.
That's true.
Because they're being told that they're super duper awesome all the time.
Or they're afraid of losing customers, so they don't change.
Too. So, but I think that the tortured artists, the ones that torment themselves and try and work and get better.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I was just stretching. I've been working at my guns. Just point at that right there. That's where we usually have the fan.
I need to bring this rock down.
But yeah, everybody did fantastic work.
And I hope you were happy with how the gallery looked. I hope you felt I did your work justice and that you're happy with how it hung. I had to teach myself that program rather quickly. So I will do better next time. And I was able to upgrade the membership. So if you are an Ember, you get to have 2 pieces in our quarterly show. If you're a Flame, you get 4 pieces. If you are Bernadette's Inferno, you get 6. And if you're the very top tier, you get 10. Basically, it starts at a wall, depending on the size of the wall. And let's see, 4 pieces. Flame, actually. if I did the same layout.
That
size.
rock that you're working around looks really good.
Well, I'm trying to get some of the other grasses and rocks in. And all I'm doing really is kind of tapping the underneath where something a bigger rock is to give that shadow. And a little over the top.
Yeah, Beryl, I thought that was just a vignette that you did, kind of. I didn't think it was disappearing here on top. I just thought that was the vignette, kind of the way it was done. So, see, that's something that my dad is a woodworker, and it's something he taught me is that, you know, you're always going to see all the mistakes in your work, and it's good to have humility, but professionally speaking, like, you really don't need to point out all your mistakes. You know, because then people will focus on them. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's a mistake right there."
You know they're there.
You know they're there, and
you can flog yourself quietly.
Yeah, you know what you got to do next time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So are they really mistakes? Because if you learned from them, they're just a learning.
Bob.
Yeah, they're just a learning tool.
Bob says no.
Yep. All right, let's get some of that in. I'm just trying to get a little different breakup so we can see. It's not like it's finished, but we can see, and this is kind of how I've been doing the other areas. And just drag. So we are going down the hill, so we do have to pay attention to that. But hopefully the grass is coming across as different textures of grass, because this is different. It's desert grass. This is more like what you would see outside of Phoenix and coming up the mountain. Tucson, the grasses and flora and fauna tend to start changing to shorter stuff.
Yeah. No,
you haven't been down there.
You can see. I think that's the thing. It's like it really does look like that desert kind of landscape with the scrubby grass.
Well, the difference is down here is in the summertime. I gotta get my hand to break. I've been hurting.
Well, we're over time.
Oh, okay. Let me turn this off and back us out so we can see. And because I also want to show you, if you're just looking at the piece, stay in that camera. I just turn it this way. There we go. See, up close, it may look like a mess, but as you come back, and if somebody's standing at a wall viewing it, it's actually a little smaller in camera than you would see it in person. Compared to how I'm seeing it, it's bigger than it is in front of me. It looks like I have rocks and grasses, even though they're just lines and strokes going in different directions. I still need to pull that down. But
well, that's art for you.
Yep, as you zoom in, and try to do this without making everybody dizzy, it looks different. You start seeing more. In fact, up close on the camera, that kind of looks like coins. And I will darken up this area. I was just kind of blocking in so I knew what texture was where.
That looks really good.
It does need to be darkened though, so that on the tree, I put in because the tree in the piece, it's really hard to see in this photo. You can see, it's more like the branches are silhouetted versus any light hitting on them. So I did put those in as darker because I did want that as being able to see as part of the detail. But then on the leaves, let's see, am I hot? All right. I just used the tip and tapped in and filled in, and then I'll go back in and I'll put some darker taps in. That way it puts in some depth into the leaves, but we don't need a whole lot because it's tiny.
Yep.
But that way it just has different shades. Your tonal values are going to make everything. It's going to make it all. It's going to make it all. I don't know. Let me see if I can turn it on the camera if you can see. Can't really see the yeah. Can't really see the texture. Can you?
Well, yeah.
Where I cut it into it?
You can see it a little bit. It's still fuzzy. But
Yeah.
We know it's there.
Yeah, we know it's there, but I can feel it.
Bro, you're not bald.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
I mean, that's bald.
They hadn't seen. Only the members saw what you did to your head.
Oh, hey.
And it's grown
I may
since
have
you did
cut
it.
my own hair at one point.
Oh, you might as well share it now.
Hey.
The other ones have already seen. And it's actually grown.
I'm so cold now.
It's actually grown about 1/4 of an inch since he did that.
Yeah.
I texted his girl saying, "Don't let Daddy play with the clippers." He was trying to go for a different haircut and it didn't work.
Nope. And so once you pass that point, it's just got to all come off.
Yeah. All right. So I think tomorrow we're actually going to put... I went too close. We're actually going to put...
Get some nice comments.
I think, yeah. Put some detail into this rock right here because that's going to help. This is our darkest area, second darkest area, next darkest area, next darkest area, layer. See how it's crisscrossing? It allows your eyes to move across it without going off of the frame of the wood. And you always want to keep the viewer's eyes in your piece. So even though I'm right at the edge, how it's going visually, I've got all these. How it's going visually is what helps keep them in. So I have to make sure I match the tones, and then we have the river that breaks it up, and even the river though has different tonal values through it.
Yeah.
All that is what keeps whoever you want looking at it. And right now, this is too even. So even if I need to go darker than the photo, then so be it, because right here, you're not really getting a break.
Yeah.
So I say, based on what I'm looking at, this tone right here is going to be here, so this is going to have to go darker, and it's just a matter of why. Oh, camera's going to fall. That's what we're having a problem with. Alrighty. So tomorrow we'll work, I think, on the rock. And I even started darkening up here, and you can tell it's starting to...
It's coming together.
Yeah, it's slowly coming together, and I'm not going to get it done in time.
Ugh.
What you gonna do?
That's alright.
And I think we're going to do Burroughs Bear, if she's totally okay with it and gives us permission to do it. We're going to do Burroughs Bear, which is a bear cub in water with grass behind it. So everything we're doing here transfers right into the next one. So I think her bear is the best.
Increase your skills.
Increase your skills.
Level up.
Level up. There's absolutely no reason. You may think you can't do it, and it's just because you haven't built yourself up enough to do it. So I'm trying to build you up.
That reminds me of something that you should tell them.
Yes, there is something I should tell them.
Did my job. Yes.
I get blinded though. We're not ready yet. Trying to think anything else we need to talk about. Burl and Greg, we need to figure out your live this week. It's supposed to be 2 a month, but maybe we'll do one long one. We'll let you guys choose. I do think I want Wednesday off because I'd like to go to Arizona on Wednesday. They got 3 new grizzly cubs and we haven't seen them yet. And I need out of the house. I've been in the house since February. And even as much of a homebody as I am, I need out of the house. So, maybe Thursday? The 3 of us hang out? And you guys, we can figure out, even if it's just small burnings where we're practicing stuff to help you. We could do that, but I need to find out what Greg's work schedule is.
Okay.
On that. I mean, you can come hang with us.
Burl says, yep. So I'm assuming that's about the bear.
Okay. I'm going to do my bear. I decided... Oh, I got a new chair, and it's not stopping.
Okay, Dr. Evil.
I know. I'm doing it on basswood because...
What do you want?
I can go
I feel like we're
quicker.
at the International Space Station.
I know.
Which one do you want?
I think that's the owl. That's not the
This?
one I want. No.
This.
I think it's probably over there. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I do. I feel like I got a new chair. He's sitting in my old one that I've had for 10 years. And this one spins too much. So don't forget. You're what? Come on, guys. Say it with me. What are you? You're awesome. You can do this because you're a pyro artist. Happy burning learning, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye. Watch more videos.